Hey everyone, I'm Selena for Who is Jesus Today. And you can tell by the title, I'm going to be speaking briefly on a very important topic in the church and also for us just in general living. So, there's a difference between human discernment and spiritual discernment. And I'm just going to read over some information that I have down here. There is such a thing as divine revelation that comes through the Spirit of God. Things that we would not know through our natural human intellect. Okay? So divine revelation is being revealed to you, to the person. And this is what you normally would not be able to really perceive, say, intellectually, in our intellect. It's not something that you can just easily discern just because you have certain things you are putting together in evidence or things you have heard or your past experience. There is a difference. Spiritual discernment, you discern and speak what you don't know. That's the difference. All of us have human discernment. I'll go over that a little bit. But spiritual discernment, that's why I want to make a difference. I hear a lot about a discernment from time to time, and I just want to go into God's Word and expand on this. So, spiritual discernment, you discern and you speak what you don't know. That's the difference. You don't know it, but the Spirit of God does. And the Spirit of God discerns it. And you may be led to speak, or you may be led to hold it in and wait until the appropriate time. To be really honest with you, those who are used in intercessory prayer, spiritual discernment is often a gift that is working in their lives. So, spiritual discernment, remember, you're speaking what you don't know. What you don't know, yet you come to know through the Spirit of God. What you could have not naturally known. Okay, human discernment is much needed. And we all share this intuitiveness also with the animal kingdom. We all discern. So human discernment, a natural intuitiveness versus spiritual discernment. That's the difference. As I said, animals can discern and to pick up on things as well. This is how they survive. But do animals receive revelation from God? I say no, of course not. So any human can discern. Anyone can discern. Different age levels, different, say a person doesn't have to be a Christian or spiritual to discern. To be human is to discern. Very similar to assessing, being able to assess. Also similar to making judgments. So we naturally can discern and assess. Earthly matters, whether we are right with God or not. We live and survive by going through our lives discerning. There's times when you can tell a situation is not going to be good or safe. There's times you could discern this person is okay. You can go on and cut this, say, business deal with them. Discerning is part of survival. Some, of course, are more insightful than others. Yeah, that's going to always be the case. You always have those who will exceed in something. You always have those who are maybe more, say, sharper in assessing. The more you can discern about situations, people, and outcomes, of course, the better. Yet, if it's not spiritually discerned by divine revelation from the Spirit of God, then anyone's discernment can still be off. So we can assess things and put stuff together and package it and pack it, however you want to say, unpack it, and we try to just move things around. We put our thoughts together, and we feel like, okay, I've got this really, I need the light. I got this really figured out. Not necessarily, but to some extent. A little too much sun? Okay, is that better? I think that's better. To some extent, we all can have a hit and a miss. Even when you've been experienced in discerning situations for a while, it doesn't mean you won't get it wrong sometimes. What I'm referring to is spiritual discernment. Let's go to 1 Corinthians, okay, chapter 2 and verse 10 through 11. But God has revealed them to us through his Spirit. For the Spirit searches all things, yes, the deep things of God. For what man knows the things of a man, except the spirit of the man which is in him? Even so, no one knows the things of God, except the Spirit of God. And is that better? Because I think I'm disappearing there in the sun here. So that's one way of looking at this, and there are some more scriptures that I want to go deeper into. But it is clear, the spirit of man discerns things that are associated with the spirit of man. We all have the spirit of man, but see, the Spirit of God that is in us, that spirit can discern, and that spirit discerns through the Spirit of God, and that is the difference in spiritual discernment, receiving divine revelation. Now, God can download on his people as he wills divine revelation about a situation, about a person, at any time. Those who are born of the Spirit of God, those who are led by the Spirit of God, right, are sons and daughters of God. But I also believe, yes, that there is a gifting of spiritual discernment. And those who walk in this gift, they will know who they are. Often those who are in their prayer closets a lot. But I also believe that God, he spends time shaping and molding these individuals so that their hearts can be aligned with God's heart. So when he opens up their spiritual revelation to see right through situations, even people, you could have a person saying one thing to you, but the Spirit of God in you is letting you know that's not what they're actually saying. And you begin to discern. You begin to discern the difference between good and evil. A person may be acting nice and they're smiling and they're doing everything right, but in your spirit, it has been made known to you that their deeds are evil, they are fictitious, and that they have a plot. It could be a plot against you or a plot against someone else. You're not thinking evil of them. You're not desiring to think evil of them. You're not trying to assume the worst, because you don't have to really assume the worst. When you're walking in the gift of spiritual discernment, you know what? God's going to let you know what's the worst. God's going to reveal evil. I have to say, based on my experience and being around other people as well, God has to entrust us with this gift of discerning in the Spirit. Because he may say something to you or me, but he doesn't want us to share it yet. He doesn't want us to put it on the Times Square billboard. It's not time for this to be public. In fact, it may not be the time to share it with that person either. You may have to go more into your prayer closet and pray and wait and see what God's going to do. There may come a time when you actually have to face a person and all the stuff they've been telling you that they feel and they're planning to do, and you have to speak in the Spirit of God and reveal to them what's really going on and what's really their agenda or plot. But do you know how that's still done? It's done in the love and the power of Christ. It's not about you having mass exposure. There may be a place at times for that if you have to really make many people aware of this a situation or a dangerous person, of course, a predator, right? But often when this is a one-on-one a situation, or leaders who are called to look over the flock, you may have to call a brother and a side or a sister, and you may have to start to open up the dialogue and see what they're going to tell you. But I can tell you, if you're really in the Spirit of God, you will start to call out things. And to be honest, even if they want to continue to hide it, they will begin to reveal to you the truth. And not only will they have to say it, but it will manifest. You see, that is the difference a lot there between spiritual discernment versus human discernment. I will open up more about this. This is not intended to be an in-depth video or teaching, but I just want to open this up more. 1 Corinthians, the second chapter, verses 10 and 11 are very supportive of what I'm saying. And there's more, but I want to make it clear. Every time a person says they are discerning, it doesn't mean it's the Spirit of God that's revealing this to them, but they could be, of course, discerning correctly, because we do discern correctly, because we have been living and having life experiences and coming across the same situations over and over again, because really history does repeat itself. And the same type of person you met who did something wrong, say last year, you're likely to meet up with someone at some time in your life again who will do the same thing. So we can discern from experience. We can discern from what people are saying. We can discern because we are, say, naturally intuitive. So those are some thoughts on spiritual discernment. I haven't some say visual lines, so please pardon me today, but you can like and subscribe. Until next time, we'll talk about this some more. Shalom.